Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in. Thank you, everyone who's been tuning in. I'd like to welcome everybody to another day of OT with Dan. All right, I'm Dan. Welcome to our OT class for today. So remember, every day we are doing different activities for every letter of the alphabet, and we are putting those activities into a notebook. And this way, when we finish our alphabet, we will have a whole resource book full of A to Z, different activities, strategies, different things that we can use throughout the day, throughout our week, as we need to, or maybe as part of our routine. All right, so welcome to our class today. Our class today is our weekly review. So every Friday, we are doing our weekly review of that week. So we're doing a different activity every day, and Friday is the review of the activities of that week. All right, so reminder, please make sure you are careful in everything that you are doing, right? These activities are just meant to be fun, educational activities, meant for parents and students to do together, just so parents can help to learn and implement these different skills and strategies at home. And also, since I can't see what anybody is doing, please make sure you are safe and careful in everything that you do. Consult with your doctor, primary care physician, or healthcare provider before starting if you need to. All right, with that being said, I'd like to welcome everybody to our weekly review class for today. Okay, so if you've been following along and you have your notebook, then you can go ahead and take your notebook out now. All right, otherwise, if you are just joining us for today, you can maybe just pull out a piece of paper that we can use just to take notes on this week's activities, okay? And you can try them at home too. So remember, these different activities are great to use as brain breaks, breathing breaks, movement breaks, different strategies throughout the day, maybe incorporated throughout the day, whether you do it one time in the morning or one time every hour. All right, it really depends on how much you need it at home, okay? So without further ado, let's see what activities we have planned for today. So if we go ahead and open up our notebook, okay, we have done our A, B, C, and D in our week 1. Okay, we did our E, F, G, H in our week 2. Okay, so we are coming up to our I, J, K, L for today. Yeah, I've got my notes down here. Perfect. All right, so let's see what we are going to be doing for our I, J, K, and L. Let's start with I. So remember, the first thing I like to do is using our pointing finger, I like to draw it in the air. Okay, this way we can just practice getting it into our mind first before we start writing. If there are any letters that we're sometimes flipping, reversing, or sometimes we're forgetting how to write them, do we start at the top or the bottom? Writing it in the air is a really good strategy just to help get it into our brain first, help us to visualize how we're going to be making those letters. Okay, so for our letter I, right, we can take our pointing finger and right in the air, we go across the top. We can go down from the middle and across the bottom. And that lowercase I, we start in the middle and go down, and we make our dot on top. Right? I like to do everything on the other side too. Make sure both of our hands, both of our arms are working. So same thing. That capital letter I, we go across, we go down the middle, and on the bottom. And the lowercase I, right in the middle, and we make our dot. Okay? If you're writing at home, you can also practice tracing with your finger, okay, on your paper. So remember, it's just a good way to get it into the brain. Sometimes we see people who are trying to think of how to spell certain letters, and they're using their finger to write in the air. So it's just a strategy that can help us to kind of think of how to make the letters, how to spell the letters, what order to do the letters, flipping or reversing the letters. So it helps with that. So either using our arm to draw in the air or just our finger to draw can be a helpful strategy. Okay, let's get started for our letter I. The first one we did was our iguana crawl. Okay, iguana crawl is a tricky one, and you need some space. So for iguana crawl, we come down to the ground. Okay, we have our one leg behind us, and we're sitting on our leg here. Okay, so for iguana crawl, we want to see if we can bring one leg up, and then we bring it back. Right, so our iguana crawl, how do we do our iguana crawl? Okay, our iguana crawl, sorry, we start laying down, we bring our leg up. This is how we get into our iguana crawl. So we lay on our bellies, and we bring our leg up. Okay, for your iguana crawl, we come back to our back leg, right? So we need some room for this, right? And it's a nice stretch into the leg too. So we come back to that back leg, and when we come up, our leg comes up. So our iguana crawl is really a crawl because we're crawling on that leg, okay? So to switch legs, we come up here, and then our next leg comes up. So we're staying nice and low for the crawl, right? We can come back again, stretch back on this leg, come up, we're over here. Okay, same thing if we keep moving. So we go up to our next leg, back. So one leg is staying put at a time, and the other leg is the one that's moving and stretching. Okay, and it's going around the side. And so if we go backwards, right, we're really staying nice and low. It's our crawl. Crawl because we're getting a nice stretch into our leg. Right, oops. Okay, see if you can stay nice and low. Nice and low. Keep your belly centered to the ground. All right, our iguana crawl is a little bit of a tricky one, but really forces us to take our time, move nice and slow, get a nice stretch. All right, and then our leg comes to the side. Okay, move up. And we're really getting a nice stretch, one leg at a time. All right, our iguana crawl. Ooh, nice. Okay, really nice way to stretch out those legs. Get some good stretch into our muscles, and just really makes us focus on doing one movement at a time, really breaking it down. Okay? But it's a little bit tricky. And remember, all these different exercises and activities, we can try them all for our videos. Through our videos, we can try them all. But once we try them all and we write them all on paper, it's really just whichever ones we like the best that we end up doing. So, you know, if we're using this resource even now or once it's complete, we can turn to a random page and pick one, okay? But if it's something we don't like, maybe we're turning to a random page and we're picking the letter and we're choosing one from that letter, okay? Or we're making a little schedule that has certain ones that we really like in it. Maybe 2 or 3 breathing ones, 2 or 3 exercise ones, 2 or 3 animal ones, 2 or 3 other movements, okay? So we can really switch up a schedule and include the ones that we like. And if there's certain ones we don't like, you know, this iguana crawl, it's a really nice way to stretch, but it's also a little bit awkward, so maybe not for everybody. Okay, but let's move on. Our inchworm. Okay, inchworm. So we start out just like this, right? So from a laying position, we come up onto our elbows and we come up onto our knees. Okay, our inchworm, we are walking our hands out and walking our knees towards those hands. Okay, going backwards, looks like this. And our inchworm looks like this. Okay, so similar to that iguana crawl, just really makes us have to use our brain to break down the movements and plan doing just one movement at a time. So for a lot of our movements, when we're moving our whole body together, it's a little easier for our brain to get into the pattern. But when we're doing something like this, like our caterpillar crawl too, our brain really has to focus on just the arms or just the legs. It's a good way to work on those planning skills. Okay? We can make this one a little bit harder by doing more of a slide with our arms and a slide with our legs. Oops. Slide with those legs, slide with those arms. Right? So if we have some more room, so it might look like this. Slide, right? Maybe see how far you can go. How far can you reach? Oops. And slide. Slide. And slide. Slide. And slide. And back. Okay, our inchworm. Whew. Okay, nice way to again break down those movements. And also that one might be a little bit tough. All right, our caterpillar crawl in our letter C, same thing. We're doing just our hands, then just our feet. Just our hands, just our feet. So it's a little tricky. All right, so see what works best, give it a try, right? We never know unless we try, okay? So we have our iguana crawl and our inchworm, okay? The next thing we did for our letter I was insect drawing, okay? So there's actually a lot of really cool videos. I have to credit 5 Minute Crafts, where we practice tracing our hands in different ways, tracing our fingers, okay? And once we make a circle, tracing our thumb, or trace our hand, tracing our thumbs up, or with our knuckles out, right? We can make a lot of different insects and animals, all right? So for insect drawing, it was really just about using both hands together, one hand to put down on the paper, and one hand to trace, right? And see if you can challenge yourself by tracing both hands. So I usually use my right hand to write, but maybe I want to trace my left hand and then trace my right hand. So I'm really using both hands, challenging my brain and my fingers, how my motor skills, my fine motor skills work, and my coordination to use my other hand to write with. Right? So you can trace both hands, right? Tracing your fingers, and then maybe seeing just what kind of animals and different designs you can make out of tracing that. Right? And 5 Minute Crafts has some really, really awesome ones. So we made some different insects and bugs, but really it's just about drawing and just using this drawing as a way to have some fun. And just a fun way to do some drawing is that insect drawing of just tracing your hands in different positions, okay? Using your different fingers, tracing them, and seeing what kind of insects or bugs or maybe other animals we can draw. So kind of a theme to drawing, but the activity is the drawing, the creation, having fun, expression, okay? Our letter I. Turn our page. We come to our J. Same thing. First, we practice drawing that J in the air. So we take our pointing finger, that capital J, line across, come to the middle, we go down and up. Lowercase, we start in the middle, go down even lower, and we dot that J. Opposite hand, let's try it. Up to the top, across, to the middle, down. And that lowercase J, we start in the middle, go all the way down, and we dot that J. Okay, same thing. We can use our fingers to practice tracing our letter J. As well, right? And how does it feel in your brain doing it with the other hand? So for me, when I'm tracing it with this hand, it's a lot harder. With my right hand, I kind of can do it nice and quick. With my left hand, it feels a little weird. It feels a little awkward. So it's an interesting thing to try. So try it at home too. Okay, for J, we talked about our jumping. All right, jumping is such an awesome exercise because it's one of our original exercises. It's one of the first things we learn how to do. All right, so we can start just with a regular 2 feet jumping in place. All right, remember, whatever is going to be best and safest at home, all right, make sure we're careful. Okay, but we can start just with a J in place. All right, then I like to say, think of some different ways to jump. What are some different ways we can jump? Okay, so what are some different ways we can jump? We can jump forwards. We can jump back. We jump to the side. And the other side. Okay. We can put them together. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Or side to side, side to side, side to side. Whew. Okay. So we have our directions. We can also jump in shapes. For example, 1, 2, 3 is a triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a square. Okay, what other shapes can we jump in? See if you can make some shapes at home. Jump in a circle, either like this, whoa, 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 or just like this. Okay, we can also jump and spin. And make sure we do it the other way. All right, how we doing? Keep going. Okay, we also have our jump rope. Jump, jump, jump. For our jump rope, what are some different jump rope moves? Now that one. There's also a double jump. And so you can see if you can do some double jumps. Maybe we'll do 5. 1, 2, 3, woo, 4, 5, woo. Some double jumps, okay? A jump rope, whew, all right? We can also jump on 1 foot. Okay, on the other foot. We can jump on switching feet. Okay. Whew. How we doing? How we doing? All right. We also have our original jumping exercise, the jumping jack. Whew. Let's try some. Oops. 1, 2, 3, right? 4. A jumping jack. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Do we need a break? Or can we keep jumping? Let's see if we can think of 1 or 2 more. Okay, last ones, last ones, last ones. Whew. If you need a break, take a break. Okay, what are some other ways to jump? So, can you think of another way to jump? Another way to jump is our dance jump. This is a new one. See if you could dance while jumping. Right? Dance jumps. Okay? Whew. Let's take a break. So our jumping is such a great exercise because we can use it to use our energy so we can be tired. Or if we're feeling low on energy, we can use it as a way to wake up and get some more energy into our system. Okay, we can jump forwards and backwards, side to side. We can jump in our shapes or spinning in our circle on 1 foot or the other, going back and forth between our feet. We can do our jump rope or jumping jacks. We can do our dance jumping. Okay, we can do, what other jumps do we do? We can do a lot of different cool different things with our jumps. Okay, so our spins on 1 leg, on the other leg, both feet, shapes, right? See if you can think of any more jumps you can do. You can always use jumping as a way to do relay racing, or if you have other people in the family, brothers, sisters, siblings, parents, right? Maybe doing potato sack racing, or holding a bucket or a box, right? A laundry bag, get your feet inside, or a box, right? You can do a race or a relay race to make teams, do an obstacle course, okay? You can see if you could jump sideways with 2 feet, or maybe with 1 foot, or switch. Okay, so you can do a lot of different games and activities with jumping. So I really like to use jumping a lot because it's just, it's such a, everyone likes to jump, or a lot of people. It's one of the first things we've learned as we're growing up, and we could just use it so many different ways. So jumping, okay, great one. Next, jellyfish. Okay, our jellyfish is a nice way to exercise our hands. So we can use it as a warm-up, right? And we can either keep all of our fingers together. Let's practice coordinating how our hands move. Okay, jellyfish. We can start across our body, reach your arms across your body as much as they go. Do my sound effects. Maybe see how far you can reach that jelly. Okay, enough to turn our bodies into a jelly. Okay, so with our fingers, we can stretch those fingers out as wide as they can every time we jellyfish. So stretch, 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 stretch. Same thing with our bodies. Stretch all the way. One hand to try to reach this wall, one hand try to reach that wall, and then jellyfish our bodies. Again, reach. So a nice way to stretch. Try to reach this wall, try to reach that wall, and jellyfish our bodies. Okay, stretch, stretch. All right, we can turn. Stretch, stretch. Okay. Turn it into a stretch, right? A little movement. Right? We can also do races or obstacle courses where instead of walking or jumping, we have to jellyfish. Okay? Nice way to stretch our arms, stretch that body. Next is our Jello jiggle. Okay? Our Jello jiggle, just like if you see a piece of Jello on a plate, how does it move? Does it stay still? It's always jiggling. So our Jello jiggle is just a nice free movement stretch exercise where we jiggle our bodies like Jello. So we jiggle, right? Make sure no parts of our body are staying still, right? So we jiggle our legs, our arms, right? We can use it for stretching. So we get our arms up, Jello jiggle, okay? And we can stretch it over to the side. And see if we can stretch to the side. So what we're doing is every time we're jiggling in slow motion, we're stretching this whole side body and arm. Okay, little movements help that stretch. And jiggle. We come back up, jiggle to the other side. Okay, we're almost like a swaying tree, but it's our Jello jiggle, right? Slow motion, getting a nice stretch in that whole side and arm. Okay, and every single jiggle, we're stretching a little bit more. Okay, back up. See if we can Jello jiggle behind us. Maybe lift your head up. Maybe look back a little. Really open up your chest, your arms to the sky. Okay, come back up. Our last Jello jiggle is out in front of us. We just spill over. Let it all hang and relax. Jello jiggle. Okay, nice and easy. We come back up. All right. Yeah. How are we feeling? All right. The Jello jiggle. Really, really awesome. Really nice way to make it almost like a dance, make it fun to stretch and move. And especially we go one side, the other side, back and forward, and just nice and slow, right? We're breathing while we're doing it. Really feels nice. Okay. Then we talked about our journey. Okay. Journey is basically just us taking a break from whatever we're doing and just going out on a little adventure. Okay, adventure doesn't have to be outside or somewhere dangerous, right? Adventure can be right here in our own home or wherever we are. Okay, journey just means thinking about it differently, looking at it a little bit differently. So if we usually just go to one room and to another room, and we're only in two rooms, maybe a room where we sleep, and in another room, we might be there to play and to learn and to do school and eat, right? Maybe we're just back and forth. So journey just means instead of the same way we go back, see if you can go another way. Is there a longer way or a different way? Maybe it just means as much as going around the table in a different way or going around a box on the floor in a different way. Okay, so when we take our journey, we go on a little adventure of our own, right? We can use this as a break if we're sitting for a long time, if we're feeling a little frustrated or stressed or exhausted from sitting so long, or we're just excited for something else, full of energy, or maybe we don't have energy, we're feeling sleepy or tired, however we're feeling, whatever we're feeling, okay? If we decide we need a break and we decide that we want to use journey as our strategy, see if you could just take a walk or get moving a different way than you usually go, and pay attention to what you see or hear or smell or touch or feel on your body going that way. So maybe you walk a different way to get to your room. Maybe you take a journey outside, walk around the house, or you walk around the yard. Maybe it's something that has always been there and we just haven't really explored or adventured. Okay, so our journey is just like a little adventure, and it doesn't have to be outside. Okay, here in my home, I go from one room to another room the same way every day. Every morning, I go from one room to the next room the exact same way. So journey just means that instead of going this way, I'm gonna go this way. See if I could take a different way. And again, even if that means just going around a table in another way. Okay, because our brain becomes used to doing the same thing that we're doing. So when we change it just a little bit, we turn it into a little journey, a little adventure, and we start to pay attention a little differently. If we pay attention, notice some different things. Look around. Is there anything different about it? So it's just a nice way to go on a little mental break, a little mental vacation from the norm, so to say. Right? Which really just means kind of trying something new, right? Doing something just a little bit different, that journey. Okay, so it could be a really good strategy. If you have a yard, if you're able to go outside, maybe walking around the yard or going around the house, right? Whatever you're able to do, of course, but just going on a little bit of a different path than usual, right? Taking a little journey somewhere untraveled, right? The road less traveled, right? And sometimes that will make all the difference. Okay, let's turn our page to our letter K. Okay? Okay, sorry. All right, we come back to our letter K. You know what? We're missing our lowercase letter K too. So let me fill it in for us real quick. Okay, so we have our capital letter K. And our lowercase letter K actually goes the same span, but we only go halfway until we make our lowercase letter K. Okay, so let's draw it in the air like I love to do before we start. Taking that pointing finger, right? And those K's are nice because it's the same letter, right? The A's are two different letters almost. So some letters are the same, some are different. So the K's are just a little bit smaller. So for the capital uppercase, we start at the top and go down, and we go right to the middle to go all the way up to the top, cross, and to the middle, all the way down across. All right, and that lowercase is the same thing, that full distance, but we start around the bottom quarter, right? So it's halfway, and then another halfway down from that. And from there, we go to the middle and down to the bottom. Okay, with our other hand, same thing. Start at the top, we go down. From the middle, we go all the way up. And from the middle, all the way down. And the lowercase is a big line just like that again. But this time, at the middle, even more. That's where we start. And we go up to the middle. And then down there again, we go to the bottom. Okay, so it looks like this. Right? All the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. And here, just as big, but we go just to the middle and to the bottom. Okay, with our other finger, same thing. That uppercase letter K, that lowercase letter K. Okay? Okay, okay. Okay, our K balance, right? So what does that letter K look like, right? This is how we do our K balance. So what we end up doing is just like that letter K, we make a K with our bodies. Okay, just a nice balance exercise to challenge our balance. Balance challenge. Okay, let me see if I can get some lights. There we go. Lights, stay with me. Okay, our letter K. So we make the K out of our bodies. So maybe first we practice just getting that leg up. Just a little balance challenge, right? Get one leg forward. Okay, we're almost there at our K. See if you can just get that one leg up. If not, maybe you're just on the bottom, the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot, sorry. Right? If you're just there, that's okay too. Bring your arm up, bring your other arm up, right? If our K looks like this, that's perfectly fine, okay. That's okay for the K. You can, see if you can lift that leg up and make your letter K. Whoa. Okay, whew. Same thing for the other leg. So I like to do it on both sides, right? We can start just getting our toes up, our hands come up. Again, if we're just standing like this, that's okay also. Or if you can, get that leg up, our letter K. Okay, so sometimes just doing a little balance challenge activity like this, taking a little break, doing a little balance, right? It's a really good way to just get our mind off of things because our mind is focusing on keeping our balance. If we're still thinking about stuff, anything else besides our balance, then make it harder. Close your eyes. Can you keep that K with your eyes closed? Right? Try on the other leg. So we get that K. Okay, close your eyes. Can you keep that K with your eyes closed? Right? If you can, then you could do more. Try to touch your nose. Use the other hand, touch your nose. Right? So there's always something to do to add a little challenge. And when we're doing something like that balance challenge, that's usually all we're thinking about is not falling. So that makes it a good strategy if we're thinking about anything else that we don't really want to think about anymore. Okay, K, balance. Next is our kangaroo. Kangaroo is a jump. Okay, we learned about different jumps that we're really using our arms to help us jump. Our kangaroo, our arms are tight and they're right here by our sides. Okay, we can hold a little stuffed animal if we want to, or just like a kangaroo has a little baby in their pouch. If you don't have a stuffed animal, you can hold a pillow just to make sure your hands are staying by your sides. And then that kangaroo jump is a nice explosive jump. Okay, explosive meaning you're launching, all right? But without using our hands. So if you want to try, if you're able to do it without holding on to something, holding on to the pillow or the stuffed animal, just reminds us that we can't use our hands. If you can just keep your hands to the side, okay? You can practice those kangaroo jumps. Explosive. Okay? Can jump forward. Can jump back. All right, big jumps. Jump to the side. The other side. Okay, jump in a circle. And the other way. So, really nice way to use a lot of those muscles with some nice, big, powerful, explosive kangaroo jumps. Whew. Get a little sweat going. Okay, next, kicks. Kicks, really nice way to practice some stretching, and movement. Where's my light? Light, light, light. Light, light, light. Yeah. Okay. So kicks. See if we can kick each leg in every direction. So maybe forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Behind us, 1. Careful, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about inside and front? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can do the same thing with the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's a hard one. 4, 5. Inside on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can practice really getting a nice stretch in our legs, okay, by really trying to kick as much as our leg stretches in each direction. All right, we can make it harder by doing slow motion. So really challenging our balance while stretching, all right, especially the back one, right, really stretching and moving our leg into different ways. So really challenging our balance. Okay, slow motion. And we can do kicks while walking. It's a good way to stretch those legs. While walking back. Okay, walking sideways. And the other side. Whew. It's a good exercise. Can kick hard, kick high. Okay, maybe you want to kick to the side and step forward. That's even harder. Right? So kicks, kicks. Sorry, couch. Kicks are just a great way to stretch those legs. We're practicing balance every time we're stepping off of our foot. And stretching, balance, some nice strong kicks, right? Focusing on going slow, not fast, keeping our posture, right? Getting a lot of good kicks going, okay? Our last one we did was kite blowing. So what we did for kite blowing, we built a kite out of paper, okay? It actually just requires us, let me take apart this beautiful kite. Sorry. This requires us to fold a piece of paper in half. See if you can make it even. And take 2 corners that you want to make as your wings, and don't fold them, but bend them a tiny bit overlapping, just about a third of the way in. Okay, I did it with tape. You can do it with glue or a stapler. Okay, and you can actually put a little hole in here, either with a hole puncher, good exercise, or just get a little hole in there, put a piece of yarn or string or dental floss, right? And it might have to be a tiny bit higher, maybe a little bit here, like halfway. And this actually will be a working kite. You can decorate it, draw art, right? Just nice and simple way to make a kite, right? Make a little hole in here. And again, with string or yarn or dental floss, it works. You can just let it go outside on a windy day, whoo, and watch that kite soar. But we built it so that we can use our straw. Where is my straw? If I were a straw, I would be right here, okay? We built it to practice our breathing. So on a table, if we have a friend or family member or sibling at home, we can do kite races on the table, practice our breathing, all right? The straw is a small little hole. So we really have to push that air very strong, very, very forcefully to get a lot of air out. So with our straw blowing, Yeah. So we can see if we can blow it across a table, maybe a large table or a couch, maybe on the floor. That way you can do some crawling while you're doing it. Okay? See, if you have a wooden floor or tile floor, you can get that kite on the floor, blow it, and crawl. And crawl. Okay? Or you might have to do different animal walks. Crab walk. Crab walk. Okay? Or jumps. Jumps. Okay? You can really mix it up. You can do some races. Or, as we did, right off of our hand. See if we can have it take flight. Ready? Take off. 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Okay, that backfired. I said deep breath in. All right, let it take off. All right, so just a way to practice our breathing and practice taking those deep breaths using the straw. And the straw also makes us have to blow out really hard because the straw is so small, it's harder to get a lot of air out. We can practice by blowing into the air and then blowing into the straw. See, even my cheeks can show you, right? In the air. Well, I guess they still come out in the air. In a straw. But they're a lot bigger. They're really, really working a lot harder. So you can see with the straw how your cheeks are really working hard. This is really backfiring on me, huh? Okay, that's it. I feel it on this one. Okay, let's see. We got this. Okay, well, I hope yours flies better than mine. But it's still a good activity, just practicing with the straw. Okay, and let's see. All right, let's turn. We have our last one, our letter L. Okay, so again, we don't get the lowercase on here. Right, lowercase. So can't really do it unless I do it behind. It's just a line down for that lowercase L. Oops. Okay. All right, so our letter L, same thing, draw it in the air. It's just a line down and over, and the lowercase is just a line down. With our other hand, it's just a line down and over, or just a line down. Okay, for L, we talked about a really good breath called lion breath. Lion breath is a really good way to cool off. The way we do it is we come down on the floor on our knees, and we can actually do this sitting or standing too. Okay, our lion claws, excuse me. Spread those lion claws into your thighs, right? To push up so you're sitting nice and straight, right? Check out my back. So I push those claws in to sit up straight, right? This is how I'm sitting usually. I push those claws in, sit up nice and straight. Take a nice deep breath in through my nose. When I breathe out, my tongue comes out and I make a lion roaring sound that goes, okay, one more time, let's try it together. Breathe in. Our lion breath, stick that tongue out. Some people call it a dragon breath too. All right, try one more. All right, let's see how it feels. How does your body feel? Okay, nice. It's a good one. You can really feel it. So try it now. You can even try it standing up if you don't want to get into a whole lion position. Just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Stick that tongue out. Really let it all out. Right? And if you're home, then you don't have to be embarrassed. Do it nice and loud. Big breath in. Let it out. It's almost like when you're exhausted and you're tired and you just do a big yawn. And you let it all out. Okay, same thing with that lion breath. It's a really calming breath. When our mouth is open and our tongue is out, we're getting some nice cold air mixed up in there. We're getting some hot air out. So it's a really nice, way to cool off and kind of just reset. Okay, see how it makes you feel. Try it at home. Okay, next we did our lizard lunge. Another nice way to stretch. We come down to the ground here. Okay, we can start on our bellies. Okay, see if we can push up onto all fours. Okay. See if we can step one leg back. Oh, and we're on all fours. One leg back. Okay, if we can, actually, we'll stay on all fours. Right, so first we'll bring one leg forward like this. And we can stay here on all fours. The stretch is in our quadricep, the front muscle of our leg that's in the back, right? You can feel a little stretch in the back of your leg here. Your hands are on the inside. If you can get your toes under, step that back foot, and just breathe in these positions, right? So we have big, big muscles on our legs. So when we're stretching them, we're helping those big muscles get a lot of the stress out of them, right? So stress, it gets caught up in our muscles. It gets stuck there, right? We get knots and tension in our muscles. So when we stretch and we stretch our muscles, we get a lot of those tension, stress knots out, okay? So our big muscles like our legs, we have a lot more room to stretch, okay? So we can just breathe here. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, and if you're on your knee, however it feels good for your body. And we can just stay for a few breaths. Nice way to stretch and breathe. Okay, to relax, we bring our leg back and we can just sit back onto our legs and just relax like this. Let our legs relax. Maybe get a breath here. One more. Okay, let's do the same thing for the other side. So, we're on our knees, we bring our leg up. This leg comes back a little bit, and we can stay just like this right here. Okay? Or you can tuck those toes, see if you can bring that back leg up. And breathe in here. And relax. Breathe in. And relax. If you're on your knee, you can have your toes tucked or flat. I don't know, for me, I feel it's very calming. It's those big muscles, they're really stretching. And it's making me feel just really just calm. How's it making you feel? Okay, one more breath. And if it's not making you feel calm, right, we bring our legs back and relax. And that's okay too. Remember, we're just trying all these different movements, trying these different activities. But we don't have to like it. We don't have to do it again. But it's just important to see how it makes us feel. And see if maybe we can use it as a way to make things easier, make our day easier, and maybe make our bodies feel better, make our minds feel better. So it's only something that's available as a strategy if we want to use it. Okay, but the important thing is now just trying different things and seeing what we think about it. All right, take a nice one more breath here. And let it out. Okay. Whew, that's nice. Okay. All right. We are almost done, everyone. Whew, this is a long one, right? But these weekly reviews are good because we can do it just once a week and see what we learned for that whole week. All right. But I also talk a lot, so sorry for that in advance. Okay. Next, our line walk. If you're outside, you can use chalk. If you're inside, maybe you have tape or like blue color tape or painter's tape or something. Maybe you have string. Maybe you're just doing it just freestyle in your mind. So line walking is just a nice balance activity. You can do any kind of our jumps or sideways walking, right? But if you're looking at the lines that we drew here, these are the basic ones I want you to try. See if you can get one foot in front of the other to go forward and backwards on each of these lines. The first one is a straight forward line. The second one is a curved line. And backwards. Whoa. That balance. Ooh. The next one is those angles, sharp turns. Yeah. And just like drawing in the air, doing things like this to help us with the angles. There's angles in a lot of our letters. We have angles in a lot of our shapes when we're cutting, right? So just practicing those sharp turns with our body help us get it into our mind, how we do those sharp turns too. And the last one. Oh, sorry, one leg in front of the other. Sharp turn. Right, so our brain is experiencing those sharp turn movements. It's a nice way to get it into our mind so that when we're doing handwriting or we're doing cutting, okay, we're already used to those sharp turns, those drastic changes, right? So, challenge our balance a little bit. Okay, and our last activity for our letter L, and we'll be all done, is our lacing. So for lacing, it's a nice way to get into sneakers to prepare for tying. Okay, all I want you to do is take a sneaker, okay, take a lace and just unlace it. Maybe not all the way, maybe just 3 knots. Okay, so unlace it a little bit, and then once you have maybe just 3 holes open, okay, just practice lacing it on your own. So doing the best you can, doesn't have to be in the right order, but what we're doing is we're practicing just holding with our fingers, right? That nice, good grasp with our fingers, going into the hole, and using our other hand, using both those hands together, just getting comfortable with the laces in our fingers. It's just a good way to practice our tying, to get ready for tying. It's just practicing working those laces with our fingers, pulling those laces through, right? Manipulating and moving and controlling those laces with our fingers. Just kind of getting ready to get to the shoe tying. It's a good way to kind of just get comfortable with it, get started with it. And even if it's not laced correctly, mom and dad might just have to fix it a little later, right? Like, whoops. I don't know if you could see, mine came out a little funny. But, you know, the important thing is just kind of practicing using those fingers. All right? So, hope everyone enjoyed. That is our weekly review for this week. I know it was a long one, I'm sorry, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's any ones you want to check out specifically, you can check out those days. Although I kind of didn't really summarize it, I did them all thoroughly. So maybe for next week, I'll try to go a little quicker with the weekly review. I want it to be just like a quick, you know, like 1 session video. But, you know, I really like a lot of these exercises, and so I want to make sure to show them because they could really be very beneficial. And so I want to make sure just everybody gets a chance to see it and possibly, you know, be able to use it at home if it's something that can help. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check back after the weekend for Monday morning. What comes after L? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. We'll see you on Monday. Ooh, letter M on Monday. I like it. Okay, we'll see you back on Monday for some more activities for our letter M. All right, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, check out some more videos. Enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me anytime. All right, dantheotman1@gmail.com. I will be happy to help as best as I can or try my best to find some help. All right, and also remember, these are fun educational activities, not meant to replace any therapies that you might already have. okay, and existing therapies, just meant for parents and students to do together, just to help implement these different skills or strategies, okay, as best as for you. Whatever is most appropriate. Also, I can't see what anyone is doing, so please make sure you're careful in everything that you're doing, safe. Everything you're doing is at your own risk, so please be super careful with everything. Consult with your doctor, healthcare provider, primary care physician, anyone you need to, if you need to, okay? So everything should be pain-free, not dangerous. We are having fun, but being careful. All right, hope everyone enjoys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see everyone again next time. Bye.